I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to Spacebound for more top 10 videos every day. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Leave a friendly comment and I'll make sure to reply to every single one of you. Historical inaccuracies, prop placements, bad stunts, editing faults. Yup, some of these mistakes probably made it into some of your favorite movies and definitely onto this list. Hi and welcome to another Spacebound video, where today we'll be looking at 10 of the biggest mistakes in movies that you probably missed.
My people got some business with you, and if you want your kid back, then you gotta cooperate, right? Wrong.
Number 10. Dummies. Commando 1985. Filled with more mistakes than a Michael Bay film has slow motion scenes and explosions, Commando has a lot of problems with it. This was one of its more obvious faults. Bent on revenge for the deaths of his fellow soldiers and to save his daughter, John Matrix, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, was in the middle of escaping from a South American base which he'd rigged with explosives. Cue the 6 different camera angles of the same detonation, please. During the explosions though, you really don't need to keep a close eye to notice that the dummies placed in front of the building are as fake as day. Sure, they wouldn't put real people's lives in danger, though any regular viewer would probably appreciate some authenticity, as the bodies themselves don't look too real in the slightest, nor do they even move or react to the explosions at all. But then again, it probably would be some sort of liability having actual people die, but I guess that's a topic for a different day. Number 9. Ruby Slippers. The Wizard of Oz, 1939. An icon in film and American pop culture, The Wizard of Oz is easily identifiable by its early use of color, quirky characters, silly humor, and original music.
What do you think you're doing?
But what's most recognizable, of course, are the witch's ruby red slippers which Dorothy wore. But as one of the items the film is most centered on, you might think they pay closer attention to detail to them during their on-screen time, especially considering how they had multiple pairs made, intended for close-up shots such as the shoe clap scene. Fun fact, there were only 4 pairs made, each worth around $2 million. Anyway, some scenes didn't show the character's feet, of course, exempting any need for Dorothy to wear supposedly comfortable and highly maintained shoes anyway. So we're assuming this camera angle was either unintended or missed in edit. Either way, mistakes were definitely made. Number 8. Moving Iron. Forrest Gump, 1994.
I picked up the mail.
One day, out of blue clear sky, I got a letter from Jenny.
So if you didn't know, films often do different takes for a scene instead of just one full go, and some of these takes happen to have background props. They don't usually mean anything, they're just filler, but in some cases, props aren't always placed in the same place as the last take they just took. That was a mouthful. You might notice this from a scene when Forrest learns he has a son. It's a very emotional moment during the film, but obviously we like to look away from that to notice that the iron moves in the background on the ironing board itself.
Is this your house?
Yeah, it's messy right now. I just got off work.
You'll first notice it standing up on the board in the first couple of minutes, and then in the next take, we'll see it laying flat on the board, and then in the next moment, of course, it's back up again. So, just going to prove a point that sometimes people really don't pay attention to the props in the background, but they do take a big part in the movies. Number 7. The Force. Star Wars Return of the Jedi, 1983. Usually there's just so much going on in any scene from Star Wars that it's just really hard to notice anything small, and the fight at Sarlacc pits in Return of the Jedi is no exception. After escaping death by Jabba the Hutt, Luke begins fighting his goons, but as he's going in for the kick, it's clear to us that he missed. Because of the fast-paced action going on, however, it's easy to miss anything when watching the movie in full, but when slowed down, it's obvious that Luke's foot was nowhere near the stuntman's face. Well, unless he used the Force. That must be it, he probably used the Force. Number 6, Sleeveless, Cinderella, 1950.
My child?
Even a Disney princess isn't immune to wardrobe malfunctions or quick wardrobe changes. When it comes to Cinderella's popular long-sleeve dress, it's hard to forget what it looks like, especially considering how a similar version was fabricated for the real royal wedding. After the wedding ceremony had finished in the animated movie, we can see Cinderella running down the steps and even entering the carriage with a long-sleeve white dress though, right? But in the last scene, when the newlyweds are kissing, you'll notice her dress is now sleeveless. Apparently 2 different animators are to blame for this mistake. You can also tell that the carriage's drapes are a different color than before. Number 5, He's Got a Wire, Cobra, 1986. Some actors use improv in case they can't remember their lines, and usually it works out great. Keyword, usually. On his way home in the film Cobra, played by Sylvester Stallone, was looking out in the park at his usual spot when someone was taking up too much space. So, being the dirty cop that he was in the movie, Sylvester went ahead and pushed their car.
What's your problem, Sensei? You touched my car, man.
This then led to a confrontation between him and the driver where he'd end up ripping off his shirt.
Clean up your act.
Now what Sylvester must have forgotten about was that the taped microphone packed under the shirt, which was in plain view to the camera, was there the entire scene. Number 4, Earplug, North by Northwest, 1959.
You little fool.
Just stay away from me.
Either this little boy could see into the future and prepared for the loudest gunshot, or he just doesn't like loud noises, but I'm probably guessing the second one. I'm assuming they could have reshot this scene though, considering they show 2 different camera angles of the man getting shot. It also doesn't help the fact that in both takes he falls to the ground in completely different ways both times. Set aside the terrific acting and story and plotline, this scene should have lowered the Rotten Tomatoes score of 100%. Number 3, Random Hand, Jurassic Park, 1993. I've watched this movie countless times and I still can't believe I didn't notice this until just now. I've at least watched 23.5 times, something around that.
Timmy, what is it?
Okay, so while the kids were hiding in the kitchen, we see a velociraptor poke its head through the door until he starts walking through, right? But what you probably missed was the hand of a crew member trying to handle the velociraptor's tail so it wouldn't wiggle around. Honestly, I'm still surprised that I didn't see that after all the times I've watched this. It's kind of surprising. Number 2, Broken Lamp, Spider-Man, 2002. So remember in Forrest Gump how movies are done in separate takes, so sometimes prop can be seen moved around? Well, sometimes scenes are also not filmed in chronological order, meaning that not how the movie is set out to play originally. A good example of this would be a scene from the original Spider-Man movie when Peter Parker first learns about his web powers. You'll notice he breaks the green lamp by pulling it to the wall behind him, but you might not have noticed how it's placed right back on the drawer perfectly fine after he answers the door to his Aunt May.
What's going on in there?
Now personally, I did recognize this, but for some reason I thought it was meant to be like that. I'm not sure, but it makes more sense now. Number 1, Gas Tank, Gladiator, 2000. Finally, on our list comes 2 mistakes actually from the gruesome Battle of Carthage in the Colosseum from Gladiator. Through all the action, we witnessed people getting sliced, diced, and pierced. We probably didn't notice the first mistake from one of the films, the crew member's feet actually being visible in the back of the chariot. Or just several seconds later, when one of the chariots is turned over, we can see a gas cylinder in the back. Now, I don't think gladiators had engines for their chariots back in the day. Huh. Strange. Very strange. And with that being said, that concludes 10 biggest movie mistakes you missed. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for better content to come in the future. Right now on screen, you're going to see a couple of the videos that I think you might enjoy as well if you enjoyed this one. Those have annotations to them, so all you need to do is just click on them to go watch them. Other than that, please make sure to check the description down below for a link to a good foundation for a good cause. Other than that, have yourselves a great day.